Entonces... podemos charlar con la gente, pero lo tenemos que hacer fuera de... Pues vamos a tener que hacerlo.
What do you need?
Pero sí, me ponía como que tenías una charla, ¿no? No.
Thanks for talking.
Let me think.
Lo tiene puesto.
Have you ever met a marine godlike?
Aquí no tenemos nada.
One of Andres' children.
La cosa es que nos manda prácticamente al principio para hablar con Kai. Ya podemos volver. Esto era un poco intrincado, ¿eh? Vamos a ver. Vamos a salir. Salimos aquí. Vale. Hacemos y aprovechamos y hacemos el cambio.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Bars were not enough. They writhe. They seek to silence us. Only essence sustains them now. Hatred seated in the heart. We wonder. We did not foresee this. A debt of knowledge. We concede. The sky is green. The fish breathes air. We can no longer imagine. No, we must recall, plumb the depths of our memory. We would run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. Disturb the dirt, but spare the blooms. Shake the roots slowly. Vengeance denied, squandered. This cannot be. We spoke of flowers. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Pues sí que era un poco precipitado, ¿no? Hablar de libertad en estas circunstancias. Lo que me preocupa es, por ejemplo, si le doy aquí y me cambia, ahí tenemos el A, B y tal. ¿Cómo llegar quizás a los lugares que están por detrás, por decirlo así? Porque hay algunos que sí sabríamos llegar, pero otros tengo la sensación de que no llegamos ya, porque nos hemos pasado de la raya. Oh, miedo, espérate. Antes que hablo... Antes hablo y antes me da la sensación de que podemos y antes me da la sensación de que no podemos. Ahí nos saltaba, quiero decir que... Igual aquella raíz estaba aquí. Ah. Pero no me deja. Tendríamos que... No sé yo si nos dará tiempo, ¿eh? Pero ahora ya tenemos a... tipa esta. Podemos pasar por algunos sitios. ¿Qué cojones? Me estoy contando aquí ahora. No voy a decir que tenemos cierta ansiedad por ver qué pasa al final, pero me he tirado al agua y ahora... Y aquí sí salgo y en el otro lado no. Bueno, también es verdad que parece que es más alto. Que quiero pensar que hay por ahí otra... Ahí. Obra caminante salvaje. Los objetivos. Al recibir un estado elemental, este afecta a todos los objetivos cercanos. Que si tuviésemos la opción de mejorar el arma, o sea, la armadura, estoy convencido de que volvemos a ladra. Se debería de poder volver. Se debería de poder volver. Ahora estamos aquí y creo que aquí lo de Yata sí me acuerdo, donde estábamos, en las habitaciones estas raras. Pero volver aquí. O aquí. No veo opción. Nos ha escapado esa oportunidad, quizás. Ahora, como todo esto está libre, no me genera esa ansiedad de otra vez a tener que luchar, porque han sido batallas bastante duras, bastante largas. Porque lo que había aquí... Vale, es que es aquí abajo. No jodas. Laberinto. El concepto laberinto reinventado. Estamos... No. Pero si es por donde hemos ido antes, ¿no? Vamos, no me jodas. Vale, pero ahora sí pues... Vale. No, tranquilos. Vamos a poder hablar con Yata. No. Ahí está Kai. Bueno, sí, Yata era metiéndonos por aquí. Vale, el 2... Vale, Kai también podemos porque estaba aquí lo de... Lo de cama. Aquí. Kai, ven.
Tama. No.
Tama, que digo yo.
No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, envoy? This is your God's prison, not mine. Before we visited his memorial, yes. But I thought I'd broken free. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. I'm not sure. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? That's the problem. I can't picture him anymore. I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. Yeah, it is. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. You're right. I am. It's like you said. I'm not letting my regret define me. I won't make that mistake again. And we've got farther to go before this is over. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the dream scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? I suspect you're right. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
A ver, no he querido ser tajante y he optado por lo de algo intermedio. Porque no me parece tampoco que sea inocente. Técnicamente, la presunción de inocencia o lo que se quiera ver depende en muchas ocasiones de cómo... ¿Cómo era esto? ¿Dónde estaba el sitio este que vimos? Igual estaba arriba. El hecho de que nos, digamos, no fuese consciente quizás del poder que estaba llegando a emplear, no implica que no sea culpable. Sapadal de lo que ha hecho, ¿no? El estrago onírico es cosa suya. La erradicación de... Vale. Puta ver. Nada, tú sigue. Lo de la erradicación de esa raza que estaba aquí por talarles el árbol. Esas cosas no dejan de ser responsabilidad suya, en cierto modo, ¿no? Joder. Una lanza... Sí, igual podíamos haber mirado a ver si podíamos mejorar algún arma en plan legendario, ¿eh? Al final, yo digo que sin exonerarle de su responsabilidad, porque yo digo, el que tiene poder debe saber usarlo. Tampoco veo que sea culpable al 100%, porque creo que realmente puedo pensar, ¿no? Es que en una situación tan tensa como era esa, pues su reacción fue desmedida, pero fue una reacción acorde al nivel de estrés que tenía, ¿no? Nivel del problema que se le había generado, ¿no? Vamos a ver. Que podemos hablar con Yata.
What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing.
Veo muchas plantas mirándonos.
I hate it. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? They have a sick sense of humor. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward!
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
This is almost as bad as Ringram's creepy sculptures.
Oh my gods. They're alive?
Saludar a la planta.
How? Where would I even begin?
Giada Castel, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
No, this can't be. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good animancer embraces death. And they were the best.
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapadal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual, organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends, drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat, but that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Not to be pedantic, but that was 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness.
No tengo claro si la primera o la tercera.
Easier said than done.
Sí,
Damn
bueno,
it. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Chiara.
Bueno,
And
mejor de lo que
thank you,
pensaba.
godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to. Our purpose draws to a close. A long rest is assured. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
Give her space, dearie.
Libro extraño, este libro está escrito en su savia oscura. Perdónanos, madre.
Giada will speak more when she's ready.
Vale, tenemos 2 de las conversaciones o 2 de esas charlas ya completadas. Me gustaría poder hablar con Marius. Y esto es donde nos manda otra vez al principio. Pues por donde hemos venido. Pero es que la de Marius sí que la hemos liado, creo yo, De Marius sí que me parece que la hemos liado un poco. Vamos a intentarlo. Ya se nos ha ido mucho de... No vamos a decir que estamos fuera de tiempo. Pues si lo comparamos con otros capítulos, pues un poco como que sí, pero... Quiero comprobar que no podamos llegar de verdad, porque no es que no quiera hablar con Marius, más bien todo lo contrario. Tengo ganas de saber cuál es su caso. A ver si... Producto roto. Aquí puede dar la vuelta y volver para atrás. Tiene pinta de que de poder se tiene que poder así. Tiene que haber algún... Debería de haber algún camino, pero es que ya digo que no encuentro cómo llegar a donde Marius. Ese es el problema. Está siempre atrás, siempre atrás, siempre atrás. A ver si por allí... No tiene pinta. Ya tú. Pues nos hemos encontrado así por la suerte, ¿no? Tenemos el buscasendas. Los combos de ataque completos provocan un gran aturdimiento a los enemigos cercanos. Duplica la distancia recorrida durante el ataque potenciado. Y luego aquí tenemos el destructor, que es a 2 manos. Infligir daño de ataque extra. Y los Magfold, o sea, vamos a tener que luchar contra ellos. Ay. Se puede poner la pistola en la segunda mano. Ah, y solo puedo llevar el... Anda, ¿y eso por qué? O sea, solamente puedo llevar la... No entiendo muy bien el por qué. El escudo solamente lo puedo equipar en una configuración. Me decepciona un poquito. El hecho de que no pueda llevar el escudo en las 2 formaciones y que cambiar el arma. Así es más fácil cambiar una cosa que cambiar 2, digo yo, ¿no? Pero aquí nos dice... Bueno, claro, es el ir para el refugio. Otra vez. Creo que Yeta quería hablar con nosotros. Joder, solo Yeta no. Marius también. Bueno, Marius está así como caducado, digamos. Está ahí pijo. Filo de... No. Vale, tenemos más daño en esta también. La Berserker también la podemos mejorar. Y el alcabuz este lo dudo. No, este no se podía. Este no se podía. Entonces, ponemos en el segundo grupo. Ponemos el destructor. Ahí, la hostia. Me estoy liando. Pero no le estoy dando el botón adecuado. Ahora sí.
Hey, Giada. How are you holding up after seeing those,
Vale.
When you find
Tenemos
Sapadal,
charla con
I hope you tell them how much I love what they've done with this place. I'm a man of hidden depths. What's not to love about floating islands and a spectral tree? Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. True enough. Makes me wonder if confinement was the real goal, or simply the only option at the time. One thing's for sure. Imprisonment has only riled Sapadal up. Judging from their outbursts at Mount Forja and ᴘᴜᴇᴅᴜ, they haven't exactly taken this time to reflect and relax. Uh-huh. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. You know, if Sapadal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. I don't envy you having to deal with the loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, I mean, when, we escape this place. Lucky thing your emperor sent his best representative as his envoy, right? You'll have your work cut out for you. The ⴘᴜᴇᴅᴜ leveled fewer. Even if animancers aren't the most popular bunch, everyone gets nervous when fields burn. And yeah, I know that's on the ⴘᴜᴜᴜ, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise animancy. Not when Hilgard banned the practice in Paradise. Oh, I wish I were finished. Ringra may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. That doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time. You'd be surprised where people can find blame when they're spun up. And it looks real bad when a ⴘᴜᴜᴜ force just so happened to be there when it went down. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's going to be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Hilgard's been helping matters while you've been out here. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. Yeah, those were your orders. And if you make it back, you'll be the godlike Adiran who survived an assassination, treated with local leaders, faced a god, and stopped the Dream Scourge. That's a powerful symbol indeed. I admire your principles, but don't underestimate what they could demand of you. Look, I've been there. I fought for Rauatai's interest in the Deadfire for longer than I like to admit. And lost my stomach for it eventually. That's how I wound up here. But I will tell you now, I never could have fought my own brothers and sisters. I hope that's not what it comes down to. But I'll understand if that's a line you can't cross. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. Anytime. Good night, envoy.
Bueno, ahí lo que no considera, y me resulta extraño, es que ya hemos luchado contra los Aerid, así que no debería ser nada distinto.
I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapadal's.
Yo creo que es mutuo, ¿eh?
Generous? Perhaps. Until I knew the whole story, there was never anyone to blame. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No Animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. Of course I can. But now, I can do them for the right reasons. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand. And it's creepy, but wonderful. They probably won't even notice me. But stranger things have happened. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think?
Ya, con esto me
Of
vale.
course you trust me. I'm brilliant.
Claro.
But we've been together long enough that I value your opinion.
Joder, me cago en la leche puta, que no quería decidir nada. Uf. Son lo mismo, pero tomando una decisión que no sé si la puedo tomar yo.
I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right.
Creo que estaba más vinculado al hecho de que como soy Aedir no debería incitarlo a hacer la animancia porque
I
está
don't have to
prohibido.
live
Pero...
up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it.
Knowing me, maybe a little too ambitious and unexpected. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giada Castel, so I'd better make it count. Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
You're good,
Vale, la cosa es, aquí, por mucho que entre, no voy a...
What do you need?
no me va a decir nada porque realmente no hemos tenido la charla que teníamos que tener con él y por tanto se ha quedado como bugueado. Pero el problema es que a estas alturas deberíamos de haber podido hablar con él y no lo hemos hecho. Como consecuencia, pues tengo la sensación de que no vamos a poder hablar con él. Y el problema ha sido, y esto es algo que claro, con Yata no pasó, no pasaba o no pasó, por el hecho de que estaba con nosotros. Ya habéis visto que cuando estábamos con Kai hemos tenido que esperar a que apareciese en el punto donde teníamos que hablar con él y hasta ese momento no podíamos hablar. Yata, como no lo llevábamos, estaba ya ahí y pudimos hablar con ella. Pero es que no ese es el fallo que le encuentro yo a esto ahora. Porque no me está dejando ir a donde esté Marius. Espérate. ¡Ay! Claro. El sitio este donde además habló él. Vale, vale, sí se puede. Sí se puede. Marius, ven aquí. Joder, macho.
Oh, no. No, no, no. Why is this? They're dead. Like it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. This place is Pedraku in many ways. This may be among the least of it.
Oh, I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Then for the god's sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
Good. And when he arrives here, he will have me to deal with. Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
It was a burden I wasn't ready to carry. I went out on patrol nearly every rotation, looking for Razvan or death, or ideally, both. Don't be like me, Marius. You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now?
I feel strongly that there's nothing left to forgive.
Easier said than accepted, Viate. Forgiving myself is the hardest part. We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. More like tolerate, in my case, but... right.
See what I put up with, Envoy? Still wonder why I left Solace?
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Oh, it was...
Vale, bien, pues entonces ahora nos toca hablar en el campamento con Marius. Y ya esta parte la habríamos... No, pues no. Pensaba que ese texto estaba ya leído. Vale, pues vamos al campamento otra vez. Charlamos con Marius. Y ya con eso cerraríamos todo el círculo. Nos faltaría hablar. Nos faltaría hablar con Yaxley. No he visto yo. Ni siquiera he visto la opción, también es cierto,
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. I think it did. He really did seem at peace, right? I imagine most encounters with dead old friends don't, go so well. I owe a lot of that to you, Envoy. You helped me be someone who could handle Sokka like that. Thank you. I will say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise. No, I was thinking more in terms of hunting for wild game and peeing on Kai to put the fires out. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I don't know. Maybe the unexpected isn't so bad after all. I never expected you and I would become friends. Quick note. If you tell any of the others I said that, I'll poison your drink. Anyway.
Vale.
You too.
Pues nada, con esto y un bizcocho a encontrar a Sapadal. Vale, me está diciendo... Pero vamos a ir por arriba. Por aquí. Es lo mismo. Nos ahorramos un trechillo. Pero aquí había un... Esto de aquí. Hay que ir por arriba. Pero por aquí había una memoria ancestral de esas que también tenemos que descubrir. ¿El de aquí? Vamos a ver, memoria ancestral, un recuerdo de estos guapos. A ver qué nos cuenta ahora. A ver qué le tengo. Estas cosas me gustan.
We were here all the yesterdays before. The shale rises to smother us. Keep them out. Keep us in. We feel no spark of the ᴘᴜᴇᴅᴜᴛᴜᴇᴜ in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone. Still weighs the clear glass of the pond. They took it all away. A tide of souls thrown upon the wheel. The ground gives way. We fall. Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly. The stillness of night split by grinding steel. We had no time to speculate. First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The ᴘᴜᴇᴱ screamed.
Esto, a ver, ¿por qué se centraron en su gente? Normalmente es lo que comentamos hace unos días, de un dios no existe si no hay nadie que le rece. Entonces es un poquito...
A means to an end. We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey. Prune the branch, 3 grow in its place. We persisted, we were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they trap the stars? Then, they turned to what the ᴘᴜᴇᴱ had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze. A mouth silenced, a record of time rendered in ruins. The ᴘᴜᴇᴱ howled. They died. We cried out, sundered soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves. Weakened, they advanced on us, they struck. They raised machines, we tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then, nothing. Not death. Worse. A void. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves. Their cries, swords in our heart, a severed limb. We watched helplessly for aeons, until you.
Es difícil, esta parte no... En el fondo estoy intentando empatizar con la historia que nos ha contado de cómo arrasó ᴘᴜᴇᴜ, mandó todos estos ejércitos con el propósito de borrar la existencia de Sapadal, aunque no es matar un dios, es matar todo lo que permite a la gente saber que existe, que también es para un dios es como una muerte. Y es lo que quedó.
Forces to be controlled. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here. Fish swims in circles. We are not sure we understand. We feel the hatchets in our bark. Our scars no longer pain. Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Recuerdo de Sapadal, pasiva, regenera constantemente tu salud cuando estás por debajo del 50%. Viene bien. Pero es que ahora estoy dudando de si realmente vamos a encontrar el final o nos vamos a encontrar algo más largo.
Show me what you got. Where's my mark? What's the target?
Ahora sí, tenemos que subir. Digo que este está haciendo el final muy largo. No voy a decir que no esté siendo productivo, pero sí que se está haciendo largo. Pero que era un capítulo que tenía, eso lo reconozco, tenía la sensación de que igual no llenábamos un directo de estos, un capítulo extenso de este estilo, pues resulta que pues estamos rellenándolo en lo siguiente, ¿no? Estamos haciendo un capítulo más largo de lo que veníamos haciendo en los capítulos anteriores. Justificado, pues es la parte que digo que quizás esté excediéndose un poquito en lo que tenía yo pensado que iba a ser. Ya sea por una cosa o por otra.
Good fight.
Las ruinas de los tipos esos. Vale. No, otra charla, ¿no? La librería de tus sueños.
Look at all these tablets. This looks like the ᴘᴜᴇᴱ building this place. Clear.
A ver.
Garwayne's gonads. Look. It's even the same hearth from my dream. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness. Must you always default to military tactics? Finally, you've arrived. There it smells. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
It's like looking into a bloodstained mirror.
It has been quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that. No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
Can we get out of here? One ᴘᴜᴇᴅ is more than enough.
was the last of the ᴘᴜᴇᴜ. Once the attack started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean... the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've... heard... Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us. They did in the end. But they didn't get exactly what they wished for. I made sure of that. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that Magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison? Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine. You're not helping, Envoy. ᴘᴜᴜ, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you... someone must tell the story of the ᴘᴜᴜ, and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Think about it, ᴘᴜᴜ. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. ᴘᴜᴜ, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the ᴘᴜᴜ will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along, when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us. This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy? I'm already intrigued. You don't need to lay on the guilt, Envoy. I am so glad that one of Sapadal's chosen stands with you, ᴘᴜᴜ. Our time is at an end, ᴘᴜᴜ. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rights. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep ᴘᴜᴜ alive. She is the last hope of the ᴘᴜᴜ. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later.
Lo cierto es que la conversación que me tenga que decir ᴘᴜᴜ no me interesa tanto. No voy a volver a estar al campamento, solamente para charlar con ella sobre lo que tenga que hacer después, que lo haga, si quiere. Y si no, pues ya va a ser la más pluriempleada de todas las personas todos los personajes que tenemos en este juego, porque... Lo que vamos. Mi fe se ha visto recompensada. La función divina me ha enviado a un Kiz, un enano llamado Teodor, que me ha despertado con oraciones de Magram. Teodor me adora. En su oración lo veo el reflejo de la respuesta. Tengo de nuevo un propósito. Teodor me dice que proviene de un asentamiento llamado El Consuelo y que allí moró antaño un enano llamado Nandru, que recibió conocimiento divino, pero de ninguna divinidad. No se acordaban de esto. Por primera vez en muchos múltiplos del tiempo de una tarea, creo que puedo rezar de verdad. Vuelve. Bueno, por lo pelos. Estoy escuchando a los otros por detrás. Espectáculo, por Dios. Que no quiero darle el botón derecho del ratón y me saca el arma. Allá, pues hay otro campamento. Pues nada, pues tendremos que hablar con ᴘᴜᴜ. Lo cierto es que cuando estaba diciendo lo de que se me está haciendo largo, sí,
I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting. I can't say that I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
O sea, aquí es... Realmente este campamento era el que teníamos que utilizar para charlar con todos.
I had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see ᴘᴜᴇᴜ again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled, but when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way searching for my own answers. But I found them. Or perhaps they found me. And now, it's like there's a new path laid out before me. A life after the dream scourge. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death. So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. It's not every day that you learn that you're the last hope to carry on a legacy, but... well, here we are. Never literally talked to myself before either. I think I annoyed her. Me? Oh, I think I need another drink. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in. Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. And yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
You're very resilient. Under different circumstances, I would credit your nature as a godlike. But we all know better. You're strong enough to survive anything. Sapadal picked a good soul when they made you.
That actually made sense to me. As if I've learned something about souls and whatnot.
I'll take that as a compliment.
How about you, Envoy? What keeps you so stoic in the face of everything? No, you tease.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall there. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you hunted your own killer and put him down. It takes a hard head or a thick skull to face something that almost ended you once.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm. How you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. And when they burned my home, you gave me another one. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those sporlings. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time.
Poco tiempo, en la serie ya llevamos unos cuantos capítulos, ¿eh?
Quite a lot, as it turns out. But the journey is worth it.
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Nos quedamos aquí ya de todo.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we?
Get some sleep. There'll be plenty of time for sentiment and hugging.
Vamos a hablar con Yazli, que es la conversación que nos queda.
Envoy, have you recovered yet from our chat in the library?
¿No has hablado tú solo?
I don't think I have yet, but maybe talking it out will help. I think I just need to say some things out loud, if that's all right. It's just... we already have a lot to take care of, don't we? We have a god and an empire, both vying for our attention, and now I have this legacy forced on me. I was already unsure what to do, and now a third option appears like the world's worst surprise. But it makes sense. My whole life has been about the godless in one way or another. It explains why I knew the language, why I felt so drawn to the ruins. It's not an answer I would have expected, but it's an answer.
No me quiero meter en
Now
tus
that I know,
decisiones.
I kind of thought, well, honestly, I feel more full. Like a puzzle piece sliding right back into place. No matter what happens, even if my path doesn't lead to the library, I feel better than I have in ages.
Vamos a contentar una oferta de Ringrim. Claro, es que el tema es la bibliotecaria. Lo de seguir a la archimaga o estar con Quidditch. ¿Qué es lo que quiere? Si no lo puedo decidir yo. Uf. Me alegro.
So am I.
Es que no. No. O
For
sea,
the first time in my life, I don't know what to do.
Congratulations, Yardsley. Now you're just like the rest of us.
No matter what, I've always known exactly what I want. But this is the first time I've had more options than time in the day. What do you think?
pero tu vida gira en torno a los impíos. No puedes dejarlo ahora.
You're right. The Akira have been with me my whole life in one way or another. I owe it to them and myself to see it through to the end. Thank you, Envoy. I've been agonizing over this for longer than I want to admit. Finally picking a destination makes the journey a lot easier. Oh, but I am not looking forward to telling Quilichi.
He'll
Hablando de
understand.
Ringrim.
Your happiness and fulfillment are everything to him.
Well, come on. We've bigger things to deal with. Literally, in Sapadal's case. Much as I'm loath to relinquish the spotlight, we should be off. And Envoy, thank you, truly. Now, let's go.
Vale, lo dicho es que al final dices, desde el principio estábamos como dirigidos, corre, libérame, libérame, libérame. Y dices, vale, pero te libero. Hostias, y llevamos 3 horas y pico. Ya digo, odio esta forma perdida, caída, odio sus pies, odio sus manos. Creo que se arrepentía. Bueno. Ahora estoy pensando que cuando esto se publique es posible que haya dividido esto en 2 capítulos. Porque me está pareciendo demasiado grande, demasiado largo, demasiado... No voy a decir nada negativo, ¿eh? Más allá del demasiado largo. Que no es un elemento que se pueda interpretar como negativo necesariamente. Pero sí que tenía la sensación de que iba a ser otra cosa el capítulo. Más conciso, más... Y al final está siendo, pues, mucho. Vale, es donde hemos estado antes. No me jodas. ¿Me ha quedado atascado ahí? Uf, por tardar. Por tardar de más. Que me queda atascado. Vale, bueno, es que había movido la mano. Siguen habiendo bichos de esos aquí.
Here's hoping we can avoid that madness down there. Keep quiet.
Yo, atacaos entre vosotros. La leche. ¿Vas a cambiar el arma de una puta vez? No. Vale, está muy bien.
Good squad.
Enfocados.
Gates down. Here we go.
Keep your guard up. We gotta live to tell this tale.
No, pero, joder, qué mal funciona el tema de... Uy, ¿qué hace este pico? Pues tendríamos que ir a por el otro. Coño, que hay más. Vale, cambio el arma. A lo mejor se cargaba a todos de golpe. Vale, tenemos el brazo ahí. Son combates muy intensos, pero más que por dificultad, como pudo ser el de logro, por ejemplo, es más por ganqueo, porque hay un montón de enemigos en pantalla a la vez, no sabes a qué darle y ellos van todos a por ti, o sea, básicamente. El último Adra.
You have come at last, after so long. You are so small, we questioned if you were real. Then steps, a voice, through armies and corrupted soil, you persevered. Now, you are here. The rot. We feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your dream scourge will end when our suffering does.
Entiendo.
We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. But you are here now. You found us, a sprout in the endless winter. There is little time. We would be freed from these bonds. The strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh. She begs for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore. The prey flees, hides. The people's cries ring in our ears. She pierces us now. Now, we will not brook this. Not again. A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open, it will take you there. Breathe. Focus. Shape the essence with your hands. We were everything. What have we lost? What multitudes could we contain? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills. We want nothing more than that. We mourn our past. We only seek peace now, a chance to regrow. We trust you. You who have been by our side for so long. You met death, and you sought vengeance.
Yo lo tengo claro. Este es el que nos asesinó, el que mandó a asesinarnos. Y sí que nos quedamos con la cosa de que igual no nos dio opciones. Que ese es el problema. No nos dio la opción, ¿no?
Could not trust, but
Yeah.
You taught us trust, and we trust you. Give us peace. We want a chance to change. We deserve that opportunity. Do you think we have learned nothing from you? We deserve more than this prison. Let us have a chance to rest. We want peace. Or do you have no more mercy for us than you did for the bear? Yes, we long for this too. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the dream scourge will cease. Give us peace. It is all we have wanted for so long. Center your thoughts. Reach for us. Clear the fog. Tear down the gates. We were so blind, so lost. We brought such horrors to this
Veníamos con
place.
una intención y nos está, venga a preguntar lo mismo una y otra vez.
Bright. We had forgotten what it is to live. We will grow. Tend. Flower. We will always remember this. We will remember you when you are ash and soil and mulch.
No es muy bonito eso, ¿eh? Furia de Sapadal, habilidad divino, activa, libera el poder de Sapadal para elevar a todos los enemigos cercanos en el aire y derribarlos infringiéndoles gran daño. Y todavía seguimos con el juego. No me ha gustado esta conversación. Me ha parecido redundante, cansina, reiterativa. Hemos llegado con la decisión de te liberamos. Hemos llegado hasta aquí para liberarte. La cosa es cómo acabar con el estado onírico. O bien liberándola o bien matándola porque acabaríamos con su pena. Pero, tío, con que me lo preguntes una puta vez. Esto es lo de borrar. ¿Estás seguro? Sí. ¿Pero va a borrar todos los archivos? ¿Estás seguro? Que sí. Joder, ya los siguientes desinstala Windows. ¿Estás seguro? Sí. Pero seguro, seguro. Joder, no sé, es una de... Tío, con una vez ya valía. Vale. Y ahora resulta que tenemos que ir a por alguien que se estaba escapando por Paradis, en principio. Aunque estaba intentando irse de la isla. Que es un peligro para la isla. Y para Sapadal. Y para el bienestar de todos. Pues no creo. Ya no sé ni quién es, así que... Se me ha movido la barba. Se ha movido la barba, tú. Se ha quedado ahí como clink. Y... ¡jo! En serio, ¿eh? ¿Cuánto más le queda? No, ya sabéis que tampoco soy muy de ese estilo el chicle, que puedes decir, no, es que no es que esté... nos hemos hecho la idea equivocada de dónde estaba el final de este juego. Pero seguimos adelante.
Already? This is Sapadal's doing. I'm certain of it. No power in Eora could transport us so quickly, or so far. What happened to the living lands started long ago, and we're going to finish it.
Ah, are you seeing this? I don't think Paradise looked like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly, do they?
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
For once, I wish I wasn't. Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time? Assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. It feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and ⴘᴜᴇᴜ banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Reingrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Bleste Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
Always better than the reverse.
The ⴘᴜᴇᴜ have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or without us.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapadal?
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the Dream Scourge won't be a problem. I only hope we can say the same about Sapadal. Time will tell, I suppose.
After all this time, they're free. And the living land is free to heal.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god. All in all, rather a successful day.
Hill and God entwine. The flower shades the soil in which it grows.
We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
Sí, confiemos que pueda ayudar y que no le dé una pataleta y con esa pataleta nos manda a la mierda a todos.
I couldn't think. I just ran. Envoy,
A ver.
what does the ⴘᴜᴜ think they're doing? What's the point of exploring if you just want to plant your flag everywhere? First my assistants, now this. Why can't they settle these things over tea for once?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be here.
If you're looking for survivors, a few of us fled to the Balrog.
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento. God, I hope they're not trapped in there. I'm sorry I can't be more help. You always were a forgiving friend.
We should move. Let's hope the ⴘᴜᴜ hasn't made it to the Balrog yet.
Envoy, wait! Before you go, I may have something for you. I took some supplies when I ran. If you think they'll help, they're yours. I'll even give you a discount. You know, for saving the city and everything.
Vale, vamos a ver qué tenemos por aquí. Fuera, fuera. Fuera, fuera. No, eso no. Y eso tampoco. Por aquí. Pam, pam, pam. Deberíamos de mirar a ver qué tenemos por ahí.
Snow? Why is there snow here?
It's gotta be Reingrim.
A familiar face.
Snow and Shatterskull.
Esto lo termina ahora.
We meet again, Envoy. Paradise burns, thanks to Ludwig and the ⴘᴜᴜ laying siege to it. But the Dream Scourge is gone.
It wouldn't be the first time she's come back.
It's remarkable how hard you mortals fight for causes that'll be forgotten within centuries. Still, I do think the world has been irrevocably, if minimally, changed by your actions. Perhaps a new god being set loose on the world is certain to have consequences. Mostly, I'm curious about whether you think you've made the right choice. Ah, that mortal zeal. Always so fun. We will see if you're correct. I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. With luck, it won't end with you also on fire. Mortal comforts are so very adorable. All you desire are your base needs lavishly fulfilled. Goodbye, Envoy. And Yardsley, I do look forward to when all of this is done. I am eager to work with you.
Oh, yes. We'll, discuss that later.
Vale, no, pues ya que le iba a responder de otra manera, dadas las circunstancias de la bibliotecaria, Quiilichi y toda la leche. Teníamos un punto también para los compañeros, aunque en el caso de los compañeros ya lo tengo más complicado saber lo que le podemos dar. Que es el del bibliotecario. Sí, no, al final aquí están todos y posiblemente podamos hablar con todos, con él. Madre mía.
Envoy, I knew you'd show up eventually.
It's good to see a familiar face. How are you?
My revenants were just getting comfortable in Thirdborn when the Steel Garrote stepped out of line. When I heard tensions were brewing, I thought to myself, this is a job for the undead. So, I gathered the flock. Not to worry. I can always bring them back to fight another day. I'll keep them on a tight leash, just in case the Steel Garrote breach our defenses. Better to have them and not need them. Oh, and I've been meaning to thank you. Whatever you did in the garden seems to have worked. My revenants are docile again. No more rude displays of aggression. I couldn't be more proud. Indeed, the metaphysical currents of the living lands are beginning to settle. Best of luck out there. And don't worry about a thing. My flock will keep us safe and secure.
Thank you.
La cara de Yata era un poco peculiar, ¿eh?
As always.
I wasn't worried until...
Oh, Envoy. How good to see you here as we stand together at the brink of this historic event. I don't know if thank you is precisely what I want to say, but I am grateful to you for bringing Dolna's theft to light. Paradise burns from the torches of the Steel Garrote. The people of the living lands stand ready to defend their home. I have no doubt that this will be only another chapter for you. But nevertheless, whatever the outcome of the upcoming battle, do not forget us. I fear that more than our deaths. If Edir and the Steel Garrote have their way, they'll strip the history books of any mention of our culture and our ways. Future generations will only ever know us as an appendage of the Empire. I hope it doesn't come to that. It is all I can ask for. That's as much as I'll say. You have a role in deciding what happens next. Do the right thing, envoy. Let history remember you for the correct reasons.
Pues nada, no sé si vamos a poder hablar con absolutamente todos los personajes, figuras. Con todos, ¿eh?
Envoy, how did you... I don't know. Where did you come from? You just appeared out of nowhere. Once word about Paradis reached us, we were allowed to go. But listen to me rambling. Forgive me, Envoy. I won't keep you long. I just want to make one request while you're here. As much as you can. Be good to the living lands. Yes, but more than that, I'd just like for us to live lives that are free. For us. Not Adir to determine our fates. It's going to be up to you, Envoy. I know you have much to do, so I'll just leave you with that. Thank you.
When we strike as Pargrun, we strike as one.
As my gun's cleaned, I'll get out. Risk a jam on the battlefield. The living lands needs me. That's what Temerty said. This is how I repay my debt.
¿Habrá una conversación aquí? Joder, la verdad, o sea, insisto en cuán extenso se me está haciendo el juego en este punto, ¿no? No sé si ahora se podría decir que está un poquito desequilibrado, en cierto modo. Tengo esa sensación. Madera de berserker que está a tope. Nos queda madera cristalina. Acero viviente.
How did you and ᴘᴜᴇᴅᴇ meet? For some reason he won't tell. So, here we are. The first and last battle for the living lands. I know you speak from experience, but I still hope you're wrong. Metaphysically, the battle is already over. Sapadal is free, and the Dream Scourge is gone. But politically, we have a small mess to tidy up. I intend to send a message to the ⴘᴜᴜᴜᴜ, and it won't be subtle. Anyway, who knows what tomorrow will bring, so let's be grateful for today. You've earned a little peace of mind. Good advice, but I'd rather stay worried. It'll keep me on my toes. Besides, I need to tinker on the phantasmal focus. Make sure it's ready for war. Don't stay up too late. Pleasant dreams.
There you are, Envoy. You ready for this? Understood. Same here. I guess it helps we have a god on our side, right? I mean, a god beats a skeleton knight any day. This is just cleanup. Just figuring out who controls the living lands from here out. You said it, not me. Anyway, you should get some rest. Oh, if you need to rehearse any speeches or whatever, make sure you do it in front of someone else. Talk to you later, Envoy.
¿En serio?
We should take a moment to acknowledge what happened back there. You liberated the god of the living lands. Now they are unchained, free to do whatever they want. That's quite a gamble you made. No doubt it would have gotten worse over time. If not for you, Sapadal would still be pacing their cage like a wild animal. Which means you have leverage over a god. How do you plan on using it? That's a lot of responsibility, but I have faith you're equal to it. Sapadal's imprisonment shaped this island. Now that everything's changed, I'm curious what will happen. We cannot know if the living lands will normalize or destabilize as a result of our actions.
Gracias por el fatalismo, sí.
Anytime. Maybe you'll find some comfort in prayer, now that one of the gods is listening. I hope you don't mind me bringing it up. The subject matter is a bit much for our little camp. You're too kind. I want you to know this has been an unforgettable experience. Wherever we go from here, I'm grateful to have been a part of it. Until next time. Thanks for talking.
Okay, best food you've eaten. Go.
Vale, pues...
Really?
Vamos a ver si podemos continuar. Seguimos con el mismo grupo, que nos hemos acostumbrado ya a sus poderes.
Envoy, didn't think I'd be seeing you again. From one battlefield to another.
Vale.
Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in ᴘᴜᴇᴜ?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak.
It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened? Finally, a ray of sunlight shines through the storm cloud.
I will not grovel at the envoy's feet for solving a plague I am not convinced was real.
If you wardens ever bothered to pull your heads out of your asses, you wouldn't take such pride in your ignorance.
That's good.
You know nothing of me or my people, you fucking pirate!
Warden Commander, look around you. Is this really the time?
We believe the Dream Scourge was a malady of the soul. How did you put an end to it, Envoy?
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over. Dream Thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but. What of this god, then? What does it mean that you freed them?
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
ᴘᴜᴇᴜ was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakuku-Bel. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
For now. Who's to say they don't get their feathers in a ruff again and wipe us all out with a tsunami?
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Sapadal's power ravaged my people. I don't know that I can ever trust it.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nandru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The ⴘᴜᴇᴜᴜ have attacked Paradise. Inquisitor ᴘᴜᴜᴜ has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking, just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
ᴘᴜᴜ's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
A bit like you're being haunted, isn't it? Or cursed. But that's your affair. So long as her passion for Wodeka lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible. Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was ᴘᴜᴜᴜ who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her ⴘᴜᴜᴜ laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden.
Because a victory here would discourage resistance elsewhere. The better question is, why didn't you stop her?
Excuse me? She's a 7-foot-tall skeleton powered by her devotion to the goddess of retribution. This isn't my fault.
Sure. Just blame the dead woman. Very mature.
Who else should I blame exactly? Our envoy, perhaps? For not stopping ᴘᴜᴜᴜ in the tusks?
You could start with blaming your own incompetence.
ᴘᴜᴜ's the muscle. I'm merely the personality. What was I supposed to do? Frown her into submission?
What good are you as a diplomat if you can't even keep your own beast under control?
The Inquisitor was so convinced the living lands would unite against Adir that she's nearly made it true. One people, one law, one true god. That's ᴘᴜᴜ's vision for the living lands.
Oh, I can't wait to see how you weasel out of this one.
I know it will. We are leading by example, returning order and dignity to Paradise in the wake of the Clavager's death. We will do the same to the frontier, given the chance.
Where was order and dignity when you burned ⴘᴜᴜᴜᴜ?
My administration had nothing to do with that, as I know you know. Adiran rule and rule by the ⴘᴜᴜᴜ would be markedly different beasts.
Spoken like a fucking diplomat. Splitting hairs when it all comes from the same head.
Order and dignity. That's what you think we're missing? Bastards! All of you!
You will take it all, whether the chance is given to you or not.
What passes between ᴘᴜᴜ and her men, or between ᴘᴜᴜ and the Emperor, for that matter, is not my affair. But if I had to guess, this was the alternative.
Your empire is doing what it does best. Stamping out dissent until surrender is the only option.
Your republics are hardly any different. Their intentions in the Deadfire were certainly not pure.
As you say, we left the republics for a reason.
The Inquisitor answers only to ᴘᴜᴇᴅᴜ. In attacking Paradise, she has dragged us all far beyond the bounds of the Emperor's desires. Ludwig agrees. Our success would model the order and dignity of the ⴘɪឡᴜɪᴜᴇᴜ, for whatever that's worth.
You can say what you want, but you're still trying to subjugate us.
Careful, Envoy. Adir may still have a part to play, but don't let loyalty blind you.
No, si no era eso, estaba barajando la posibilidad.
Are we all supposed to spout patriotic Sokka now, or just these two?
I've answered your questions. Now I would like you, all of you, to answer mine. Ludwig has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwig, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here. The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war. In return, the Living Lands would enter Adir's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid.
Entonces, creo que el Grefam este sería una idea como si fuese una especie de república que se autogestiona, pero supervisada por, ¿no?
Subtle, pernicious, touch the rot, yet the disease remains. Safety among spiders. A web gleaming with dew. They weave, they wait.
Tribute, he says. Taxes, soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bend.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
Naturally, that would be the Emperor's decision. But I suspect he would choose you. Only the strong survive the frontier. I used to believe that was Ludwig. But you were born to rule here. Quite literally. You're the obvious choice. There is no Adiran who knows this place better than you.
We give up our fighters and the wealth of our lands, and get promises in return. But we have wealth enough to give some away, if it means my wardens may return to their vigil in peace.
A grave room could work, so long as trade keeps moving through the Scarp and you're willing to serve as our go-between, Envoy. And we'll have cannons enough to deter the Adirans from trying anything stupid.
When the Empire demands its tribute, from where will it come? Emerald Stair is not the breadbasket it was, and the dream of yore is now deferred. If we accept this deal, I fear we are building a trap certain to catch our own legs.
Of course.
Una colonia no, porque una colonia sellada lo controla.
Oh, Envoy, no. do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake. Of course.
Quería entrar en guerra.
I know why.
You have seen more of this land and met more of its people than any of us. Your opinion is informed. You were empowered by the Emperor himself to investigate an impossible problem. And against the odds, you solved it. You are the close personal friend of a rogue god. And in our dealings together, I found you to be a person of substance and conviction. But mostly, it's because you're a Diran, so I trust you. And these fine people here are going to do whatever they like if they don't agree with you anyway. Well, don't leave me in suspense. A fine compromise.
So long as my wardens are left in peace, we will endure a grave rum.
To brisk trade. A docile shatterscarp and a grave rum.
A grave rum, then, if we must. And, God's willing, Fjord will feed the world.
I do not trust your empire to show restraint in its control of the living lands. Gods help us.
We can worry about the future when it comes. This at least gives us the backing to survive and rebuild.
Right. Might as well go ahead and start designing those rebel flags sooner rather than later.
Good. We'll have perhaps a whole week of peace before the yoke starts chafing.
I will do my level best to convince the Emperor to accept a grave rum. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the ⴘᴜᴇᴜ. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradise, and eventually the island.
Whatever happens to the living lands, at least I can kill Ludwine. I'll take that over nothing.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradise militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Show them a fight, Envoy.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city. Whatever happens tomorrow, the ⴘᴜᴇᴜ can only make it worse.
Time to stop the ⴘᴜᴜᴜ. Lead the way, Envoy.
So we're going after the ⴘᴜᴜᴜ now, right? Let's do it.
Una charla y muy densa. La verdad es que nos pilla ya en un momento en el que estamos como... ya, ¿no? Yo quiero pensar que habré dividido el capítulo. Es uno, pero lo estaré dividiendo en dos.
We shall tear your enemies apart.
Bueno. Voy a hacer una cosa.
nothing to me.
Someone right there. Is that all you got? Oh, anyway.
Iniciados de garrote de acero. Eso sí, hemos tenido aquí alianzas. ¿Abres? Los aliados no es que hagan mucho daño, No nos confundamos, que hay algunos de esos que parecen malos pero son buenos, Hay más gente todavía. Tío, para, que no le doy.
The Eastern gate is ours. I'll stay here. You watch out for loot.
That'll teach you!
Just what everyone needs at the end. Someone to watch him die.
Either you're made of iron, or a deer in armor is better than I thought.
Barely holding on, really. I'll always thank the gods that we took down the mines and crippled the living land's resistance. Thank you, Envoy. I'm pleased the gods granted me the opportunity to serve Adir. On that note, I'm glad to see you. I can't believe, after everything we accomplished in Shatterscarp, that you would betray the Emperor. Why, Envoy? The Emperor isn't ideal. You won't stop us. Even if I'm food for worms. One way or another, these lands belong to Adir.
Bueno, a ver, hemos dejado claro que esto es algo más, que vamos a luchar por intentar precisamente que sea algo más que, no una especie de resquicio moribundo dejado de la mano de Dios. Y ese es el propósito de nuestra lucha, por decirlo de alguna manera. Vale. Vamos a la plaza principal.
Here we go. Have the shot. Gotcha.
Lo veo. Juliana.
I thought you left town weeks ago.
Sí, claro.
About time. You're the only one Ludwig will listen to.
No creo.
Not from us, that's for sure. You ask me, they've been planning this since before they left the mainland. Listen, one of the ģerote's units is scouting up ahead, maybe 5 strong. I wouldn't want to fight them if I were you.
Okay.
Take this key. It'll unlock the gate to the canals. You can thank the captain who forgot it.
Creo que eran los de antes.
You shouldn't find much opposition down
Seguro,
there. I wish someone had stood up to the steel ģerote a long time ago. But, well, you're here now. That's what matters. Good luck.
Vale. Ahora me dice que por aquí podíamos habernos saltado.
We should go now, while the fighting's died down.
Can you not hear the screaming outside?
She's right. We can't go now.
¿Y si utilizo el poder está aquí?
Should we wait till the road set this bar alight?
They have thaumaturges
Muy mal.
out there. You saw them.
Podía cularles.
I heard. Stop right there.
Show me what you got. I've got a shot.
Que sí veo es que gastamos más recursos. Igual somos más fuertes, ¿verdad?
Here we go. Good one. You sure?
Give me a moment. You take this. What am I hitting?
Algunas de las cosas de los poderes que tenemos ahora consumen, creo que, más recursos que antes, y por eso estamos padeciendo más de lo habitual. No hemos... enfrentarme a Drothwin. No.
Demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
Get ready. Skeleton lady's up ahead.
Lead on. I'm with you to the end.
This is it, Envoy. The only part that matters.
There you are.
Vamos a ver.
Envoy. Come. So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? Our conflict was foretold the moment you were born. You can no more avoid it than I can die.
Oh, gods, I came here for a fight. I didn't know we were getting a dramatic reading as well.
Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
Heelguard is a fool if he thinks half measures will save the island. When this is over, I'll instruct him, personally. As for you, Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Do not patronize me. I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
Yo la hacía la de
We would
Vitechus,
not
pero bueno.
welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
Ya, pero...
I knew you on the field of battle, when your honor was beyond question. But I don't know what you are now. Consider death my parting gift.
En el fondo yo sigo siendo una persona honorable y con principios. Lo que puedo hacer es mantener unos principios cuando se están traicionando.
Prove it. Kill me as no one ever has. Hold nothing back. Give it your all and destroy me.
Famous last words.
Let's finish this. Together.
Once I'm done killing you, your god of...
We are every seed in the soil. We will all...
A tope. ¿Dónde está el que está curando? Continúo. Se me ha agachado. Segundos. ¿Verdad? No puedes levantar uno y otro y otro y otro, tío. No, hay que matarla a ella.
Don't abandon me now!
She's desperate on this is it! Who's giving up on her?
Watch the ladder.
Hasta lo tiempo ya. Ya iba siendo hora. ¿Cuántas veces te tenía que matarla? Madre mía.
Wherever Ludwig is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for, but we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradise militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The dream scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. With your guidance, the Living Lands becomes a vassal of the ᴘᴜᴜᴜ Empire. In exchange for their taxes and soldiers, the free settlements are protected from future attacks. The fight for survival is over. The rebels of Paradise are not so fortunate. Over the years, more of their hidden sanctuaries are rooted out by the Emperor's soldiers. Until they have nowhere left to run, they flee or perish. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. Though Adir has promised that the Living Lands will retain their autonomy, not everyone in Shatterscarp trusts the Empire. But many Adiran ships sail into the Grave Room's ports, bearing fine linens and aged wines. These ease the painful memory of the day Reengrim culled their people. After the Living Lands is declared a vassal of Adir, Solace Keep reluctantly opens the doors of its fortress, though not before numerous missives are sent to Mihala demanding the Grave Room be honored. Her reluctance costs the dwarves. The Pargrunen are never favored in trade negotiations, and are the last to be supplied by Adiran caravans. But the Wardens have rounder bellies than anyone can remember.
When Kai leaves the Living Lands, he is no longer running. For the first time in many years, he can face the future. He returns to Rauatai, committed to peace for his people, those he left in Rauatai, as well as those he found in the Living Lands. He joins the Ronganui's council, counterbalancing powerful voices of isolationism and hawkishness. It is a long and difficult battle, and he is happy to fight it. With many of his anxieties and lifelong fears addressed, Marius now feels very differently than he did when he first met the envoy. Still far more comfortable in the wilds than among people, he nonetheless finds that his worries about the unknown were merely self-protection against the traumas of his childhood. Armed with this knowledge, he finds himself more capable of living in civilization, and far less fearful of his home in Galawain's tusks. While he never regains his former place as a warden of Solace, he spends his time traveling between Solace and Thirdborn, acting as a stubborn ambassador between the two. Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the Living Lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of ᴘᴜᴜᴜᴜᴜ lives on in her. In a past life, Yahtzee was given a task: protect the history and knowledge of the godless. Now, many lifetimes later, she continues upholding that oath. She moves into the library in the garden, spending her days poring over the clay tablets there. But not even the letters from, and rare visit to, her lover help ease the loneliness that fills her days. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sapadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sapadal pours a fragment of their power into the statue they claimed from the temple of Aethys. Newly embodied, they roam the Living Lands and learn to experience the world as Kith do. Their first attempts at locomotion are clumsy, and a stand of innocent trees is violently returned to the wheel. But as their confidence grows, so does their grace. Soon, they are bounding across the plains of eastern Dawnshore, leaping the river gorge in Emerald Stair, scaling the shark's teeth of Shatterscarp, and fearlessly wading into the Tusk's acid sea. When they break, they come to you to put them back together, and in time, they learn to fix themselves. They wander far afield. You see less of them, but they are never far from your thoughts, and on the rare occasion they return, they always bring you something beautiful and strange. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
Bueno, pues nos ha costado, pero lo hemos conseguido. Vamos a dejar el volumen, bajar el volumen un poquito del juego. Terminado ya La verdad es que ahora voy a decir yo, joder, pues ahora me hubiera gustado seguir. No, lo malo, el final, esa secuencia final de decisiones que tanto me gustan de este tipo de RPGs, pues ha mostrado unas conclusiones o unas consecuencias bastante buenas, creo yo, aunque siempre quedará la sospecha, ¿no? Tanto desde la perspectiva de sociedad, donde hemos visto que las tierras vivientes parecen estar en una buena situación, bien por la decisión de habernos convertido en una tierra vasalla de los Aedir, pero no una colonia ni nada, ni buscar esa independencia. Hemos estado ahí en un equilibrio con el propósito de, pues como decía pues era un poco del, bueno, nos va a dar cierta tranquilidad y sobre todo estabilidad, ¿no? Y ahí creo que esa decisión de primeras podría ser acertada. Si habéis encontrado otra solución y os ha salido otra cosa, pero podéis dejar en los comentarios solamente por curiosidad. Por lo demás, pues bueno, a lo largo de estos 2 últimos capítulos, que al final seguramente haya dividido en 2, pues lo cierto es que se ha hecho muy pesado lo que yo pensaba que iba a ser más liviano, más ligero, más directo. Y ha habido muchísimas conversaciones que se hacían un poquito pesadas, un poquito redundantes, un poquito reiterativas sobre lo mismo, y es una de y otra vez preguntándome lo mismo. Claro, también puede ser que al jugarlo un poco todo del tirón, que bueno, pues como ha sido fin de semana he podido hacerlo, pues esto en 3 semanas me hubiera roto los esquemas por completo. Es como, no sé, se hacía como pesado y luego había mucho corte de estos de charla y charlas largas y descubre esto y charla otra vez y charla otra vez y al final lo que se podría esperar de ese final que concatena acción, pum, combate final, pues ha quedado un poquito como deslucido. O incluso simplemente el hecho de haber llegado a donde Sapadal, haberlo liberado y consecuencias. No, había un fragmentito más y no sé hasta qué punto pues se ha visto un poquito como que se hacía cansino. Hasta qué punto puede haber afectado eso a la emoción de estar a punto de terminarte un juego cuando esa emoción perdura durante mucho rato, al final deja de ser emocionante. Pero en líneas generales, ¿qué podemos decir de Avowed? Pues la verdad es que como juego es muy, muy buen juego. Como RPG es muy, muy buen RPG. No viene a cuento hacer comparativas, lo he venido diciendo en muchas ocasiones, que tengan la misma perspectiva y el mismo estilo que los del Scrolls, pues solamente le perjudica en general, porque estamos hablando de Elder Scrolls que es como una especie de panteón del RPG tradicional, el RPG de este tipo de ambientaciones por excelencia. No obstante, no creo que este juego desmerezca en absoluto. Creo que es una de las mejores experiencias que vamos a poder vivir este año, y eso que todavía queda mucho, pero va a ser uno de esos top 5 RPGs de acción de este corte, porque ya sé que ahora mismo hay muchísimos juegos que, siendo RPGs, pues no desarrollan la misma esencia del RPG que desarrolla Avowed o mismamente del Elder Scrolls, ¿no? Son juegos que tienen un perfil muy, muy, muy concreto, digamos, sería una especie de mini nicho dentro de los RPGs. La jugabilidad es bastante buena, sí que tiene algún conflictillo, o sí que quizás mezcla un poco por perspectiva y por dinámicas, porque los del Elder Scrolls eran más pausados y eras consciente de esa pausa y por tanto no hacías burradas, y aquí quizás hemos sido un poquito más burros. También es verdad que igual hemos cogido el corte menos RPG personaje de la clase, menos RPG de todas, aunque bueno, no se puede negar que la clase de paladín o guerrero no haya estado en otros RPGs, así que tampoco podemos decir eso realmente. El combate era bastante bueno, tenía sus puntos, muchas combinaciones interesantes. Puede que igual una cosilla, pues, dices, tiene el aura de los antiguos, ¿no? Dices, hostias, después de tantos años que no se haya mejorado un poquito esto, es un poco como, pero también es verdad que es muy osado intentar hacer un RPG en estas características, más cuando estamos hablando de un juego ambientado en Pillars of Eternity, que el concepto de RPG que postula esa licencia es totalmente diferente a este. Es un juego más estilo Baldur's Gate, más vista isométrica, más otro concepto que bueno, aquí no encaja con el perfil de usuario quizás que ahora mismo pues se puede estar interesando más por este universo, que la verdad es que es muy chulo. No lo recordaba demasiado, Jugué el primero, si no recuerdo mal, y ya está. Y la verdad es que es un universo que si ahora me diese otra vez por intentar hacer la apuesta esa de jugar los Divinity y jugar el Baldur's Gate, podría entrar en mi lista de to-do, ¿no? En mi lista de hacer, en mi lista de jugar, y creo que pasará a ser uno de esos juegos que a futuro podamos disfrutar y ya de paso pues traerlo aquí al canal. Luego a nivel técnico el juego va bastante bien. Tenemos que tener en cuenta que con una 4070 jugando a 1080, pues yo veo que últimamente los juegos como que no se esmeran demasiado en intentar optimizarlos en PC por lo menos. En consola quizás lo apuran un poquito más porque saben mucho más los límites que tienen, pero en el caso de PC quizás andan confiando demasiado en las capacidades que tienen herramientas como el DLSS o el FSR y cosas así para sacar frames extra o para hacer el rescalado y que el rendimiento se mantenga en unas cotas aceptables, adecuadas, como cada uno quiera definirlo, pero lo cierto es que es un problema y que la llegada de las RTX 50, según se está viendo, no está sirviendo para solucionarlo si no fuese por el DLSS. Que sí que ha mejorado mucho, que sí que consigues 4 veces más frames, pero no deja de ser un engañabobos, porque en el fondo tenemos que tener en cuenta que es pagar 2.000 euros por jugar a 720, que luego se ve a 4K. Entonces no deja de ser 720. Para mí, de forma nativa es lo que cuenta, y en un principio sí que suelo intentar, sobre todo por el tema de los contenidos, que llegar a ese nivel de 60 frames en 1080 y jugar un poquito con la calidad, que en mi caso pues me lo puede permitir, pues ponerlo en ultra y ya jugar un poquito con el DLSS, o bien que el ultra pueda ir a 60, no buscar 120 ni cosas raras, y mantener esa calidad o ese rendimiento para que pueda ofreceros un contenido que os pueda entretener, os pueda satisfacer a nivel visual. Pero en líneas generales el juego tiene un diseño artístico extraordinario, tiene un diseño artístico muy variado, muy pintoresco. La ejecución de esos diseños a nivel de escenarios era muy muy bueno. Sí que luego a nivel de interacción con el mismo pues sí que había ciertos conflictos, lo normal, no ha sido una cosa de decir uy, qué cosa más rara, no. De hecho a veces nos daba la sensación de que estábamos jugando a un Elder Scrolls porque se sentía muy parecido. A nivel de ejecución también de texturas y demás, el juego está muy bien hecho, una iluminación en general en líneas globales muy adecuada, las sombras y digamos cómo se veían las texturas Kai era una barbaridad, cómo el brillo de esas escamas pues le permitía tener un diseño muy, muy pintoresco, muy de bola de discoteca. Ya sabemos que el mejor ejemplo, el mejor juego será aquel que consiga meterle una bola de discoteca con ray tracing real al 100%, tanto iluminación como texturas, como sombras, como todo, y entonces ya lo fliparemos en colores. Eso sí, igual necesitamos la 50-90 para que vaya a 10 FPS o algo así, ¿no? Pero en líneas generales el juego es muy satisfactorio tanto a nivel técnico, tanto por los gráficos como por el sonido. Un doblaje muy bueno, había algunas interpretaciones realmente sobresalientes. Pena que no esté en castellano. Yo la verdad es que tampoco disiento de escuchar en un idioma nativo, que es el idioma original del juego, y como en esos idiomas normalmente las interpretaciones suelen tener como un nivel por encima. No quiero con esto criticar a los dobladores españoles, que los hay muy buenos, pero sí que a veces la implicación del estudio por doblar los juegos o localizar los juegos en todos los idiomas pues no suele ser tan ¿no? Luego se suele resentir el juego y muchas veces casi es mejor jugarlo en original con subtítulos, que es algo que, bueno, si sois un poquito otakus, pues seguramente no os debería de costar demasiado, ya que seguro que veis vuestras series anime favoritas en Crunchyroll en japonés. O sea, eso creo que en el fondo tenemos que hacer un ejercicio de comprensión y también un ejercicio de compromiso para, por ejemplo, que nos suene mejor el inglés, coger las frases. Si mientras las vamos leyendo entendemos mucho mejor el inglés y vamos cogiéndole también un poquito el concepto. Yo creo que a mí, que yo no he ido a ninguna academia de inglés y que cuando yo estudiaba inglés en el instituto, pues desde el instituto, pues todo lo que sé de inglés y cómo me puedo defender en inglés es gracias a que veo series, películas, leo documentos y miro noticias también en inglés, pero yo agradezco mucho en ocasiones el hecho de jugar en estas condiciones porque me facilita mucho la comprensión de un vídeo, de un random o de un streamer que está compartiendo sus contenidos en inglés, como es el caso de Valderoni, que es un streamer que es del norte de Europa, que podía hablar en finlandés o en noruego, no sé exactamente de dónde es, pero lo hace en inglés y se le entiende bastante bien. Y gracias a precisamente este tipo de ejercicios, pues mi nivel de comprensión es un poquito mejor. No hay que... Yo entiendo lo del tema del doblaje, porque a veces dices, ostras, qué pereza me da, pero también a veces hay que esforzarse un poquito en este tipo de bilingüismos, ¿no? Y ya digo, en líneas generales he disfrutado mucho del juego, espero que vosotros también. Ahora tendremos que buscar una nueva serie. Mira, me gusta esto. Pobrecillos, los estamos saltando. Pero vamos a ver si hay algo más. No. Uy. Se me ha apagado el... Sí, se me ha apagado el auricular porque como no detectaba nada, tenía el ahorro y al no detectar ningún audio ha cogido y se ha apagado automáticamente. Pues nada, gente, terminamos este capítulo y esta serie. Ya lo siento, ya que este capítulo se nos ha ido mucho de las manos y de hecho este se me está yendo otra vez de las manos, pero he dividido los dos últimos, este largo capítulo que yo he jugado de continuo, lo he dividido en dos partes, sea parte 1 y parte 2 y a cascarla, ¿vale? Pero ahora, pues eso, a ver si hemos regresado a Twitch, porque la verdad es que esto estoy grabando con posterioridad, o sea, con anterioridad a lo que puede ser, puedo estar haciendo en Twitch, porque estos días pues ha habido bastantes líos, bastantes problemas y en muchas ocasiones pues no me ha apetecido, básicamente, hacer directos por cuestiones de ánimo, salud, ánimo, un montón de cosas. Y entonces, esperemos que a día de hoy podamos haber empezado a hacer directos en Twitch. La idea sería hacer The Expeditions, pero bueno, como sabéis, aquí en YouTube tenéis también la posibilidad de verlo, aunque sea más tarde. Y si os habéis perdido alguno, tenéis aquí la oportunidad de verlos, porque aquí tenemos un repositorio enorme con estas series exclusivas, esta medio exclusiva, y con muchas otras iniciativas. Dejadme en los comentarios cualquier opinión que tengáis, cualquier sugerencia, cualquier mejora. No hace falta que le deis, bueno, no es que no haga falta, es que no sirve de nada que no le deis al botón de no me gusta, porque no sirve de nada, os lo puedo asegurar. Dejadme en el comentario con lo que no os gusta, que eso sí que es importante y eso sí que me enriquecería a mí. Y si podemos mejorar el canal, lo haremos para satisfacer, pues bueno, nuestras ganas de compartir, vuestras ganas de disfrutar también de los videojuegos, y aquí en el canal estamos para eso. Entonces, nos vemos. Ahora voy a quitar este audio porque toca despedirse. Y nos vemos en el próximo capítulo, gente. Muchas gracias a todos. Hasta la próxima.